Welcome back to our first spring edition of On the Bit. I'm Dave from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Going great, Dave. It's very good to be back.
It is good to be back. It's been a long, cold winter. And it's even though it's just the last day of winter for tomorrow's racing at Caulfield, it's a great day's racing and very much like a spring day for us. So we start off with the first Group 1 of the season actually tomorrow, the Memsie Stakes. The weight for age Group 1 over 1400 metres, and wow, what a great race, Lenny! Great race to start off the spring. So lots of various form lines, and who are you going with in the Memsie, Lenny?
Yeah, just firstly, Dave, they upgraded this race from a Group 2 and made it a Group 1, and you can see why. Like, I don't know if they'll get a race of this quality during the spring. Like, it's up there, yeah. It's amazing, great depth, ongoing. I find it hard to go against Atlantic Jewel, but in saying that, I wouldn't be taking the $1.90 quote being offered at the moment, because I think the race has got heaps of depth. But she is a superstar. She's unbeaten, as we all know. There should be good speed in the race from a G. She'll sort of settle midfield, and from what she's shown, previous form, she'll be getting over the top of them, and I think winning. But as I said again, $1.90 is pretty skinny, and I'll probably be staying out of the race. Yeah,
based on the speed map, she's in with a great chance, but I'm not going with her. I think the sole reason for I'm not laying her, but I just think she's very slim price. She's a mare that's been off for 16 months. She's only actually raced in open company once. I know she's won that race, but I can't take that $1.90 myself. I'm expecting the stayers to return really strong performances in this race. They haven't got the best first up form lines, but for me they are the class horses in the race, and especially Green Moon, the winner of the Melbourne Cup. He's not necessarily a first up runner, but I do believe he'll probably be set for the Cox Plate rather than Melbourne Cup this year. So I expect him to be forward. I've watched him a few times with a few exhibition gallops in the last couple of weeks, and I think he looks extra special in those gallops. I expected him, as I said, to be fairly forward. I think he'll sit sort of midfield in the race, and I think he'll be really strong in getting over the top of them. I think a lot of horses first up in this race, so a lot of them are going to be struggling for fitness, but I think he's good enough. With the rail out 6 metres on Saturday, you're not going to want to get too far back, and he's $16 each way value for me. Great value in Green Moon. He's a class horse. I expect him to ride in it. The other horse I really want to be following, I don't think he can win it. I think he's an excellent horse for the future though in the Cups, and that's Fiorente. He'll get back to last, that's the only problem, and Caulfield's probably not the type of track he wants to get back to last over 1400, but he'll be steaming home at the end of the race, and I think he'll confirm his high ranking for the Cups. So that's the only Group 1. There's a great meeting in Rosehill tomorrow as well, but no Group 1s on the card, but worth having a punt in at Rosehill as well, and with the Run to the Rose being the major race of that day. Stable news, Lenny. Any stable news for you this week?
We just had Mia Dio run second today, a horse that we manage at Mornington. He come from last on the turn, so good effort by Wes Hunter. He's kept this horse going pretty well. So
that's good. Yeah. She's always shown a bit of promise, hasn't she? We had a couple. We had Charles and Charge run last Saturday, Mini Valley. Got spat out the back at the start of the race. Never really got into the race. He's pulled up a little bit sore, but he'll be going around next weekend. So I'll update you on that next week. Chosen Moment ran down the track on Wednesday at Sandown. He pulled quite hard early in the race for the first 600, so he'll be better for that run, and he'll improve heaps second up. So I wouldn't worry about that too much from a form perspective. Berringer's coming back off 9 months, being off the scene for 9 months, I should say, at Cranbourne next Wednesday, and he's really forward in fitness actually, so we expect him to run a forward race, although again he is better second up as well. And Fruling, he's back off since last spring as well. Lenny, he trialled at Cranbourne last Monday and trialled really well actually. He showed us that he still wants to be there and racing, and he's probably still a couple of weeks away before we see him, but he's progressing well. Value bets, Lenny. So what's your value bet for the weekend?
It's at Caulfield, Dave, race 5, number 1, Under the Eiffel. this horse has been going really good this prep. He's been up for a long time, but the jockey got lost on him 2 starts back at Caulfield. Don't know what was happening there, but he got beaten about 4 lengths, and I thought it was a really good run. Went to wait for his last start, which was obviously a little bit beyond him, but he ran a really good race. He's only beaten just under 3 lengths.
Yep.
He gets in really well at the weights with the claim. He's only 2.5 kilos above the minimum, and I think it's a pretty deep race. But he's at an each way quote of $13, and I think he's a great value bet at that price. So I'll be having something on him at the each way quote.
My value bet just won at Caulfield, race 6, number 9, Jolie Bay. She hasn't been sighted since Derby Day when she ran in the Group 1 Coolmore. She ran 3rd in that, to Nikita and Sham Express, who came out and won the Newmarket. I just think this looks a nice race for her first up. She's drawn 10. She'll get a nice card up behind the speed with G Boss aboard. I think she'll finish really hard over the last 100 metres, and I actually think she'll be too good for these. She's around the $5 mark. I still think that's really good value. Not double figures, but I still think the $5 is going to be good value for her. What's your best on breeding for the weekend, Lenny? Sorry.
Yeah, best on breeding's at Rose Hill, Dave, which is race 3, number 6, Altius. Probably all know him. He raced around down here, and now he's gone up to Waller. He's a very, very well bred horse, being by Reduced Choice, his side 97 stakes winners.
Yeah.
And he's out of Circles of Gold, who is obviously an Oaks winner herself, and the producer of Harada Sun and Elstrom. And this horse, being by Reduce, makes him a 3/4 brother to Elstrom, because he was by Dane Hill.
He's very well bred.
Very well bred.
And just a little bit of a note, tomorrow we've got our function at the Caulfield Races for Memsie Stakes Day, in the Dream Day at the races in the trustee room. We've actually got a raffle. We're raffling off a share in a racehorse. It's a $50 a ticket, so anyone still interested, you can still buy a ticket today. Just email me at david@dreamthoroughbreds.com.au. There's only 60 tickets in there, so you've got a 1 in 60 chance of winning a share in a racehorse. There's actually 4 options. I won't go through them, but you can email me for details. On the bit special for the weekend, Lenny, who's your on the bit special, mate?
On the bit, Dave, is Rose Hill again, race 6, number 3, Zoostar.
Love him.
The amount of mail that I've been getting about this horse is unbelievable. They're just they're shouting his name from everywhere. I actually saw him at the trials, and I love the way he trialled. I just think he's right on song. And yeah, as I said, the mail about him is really strong, especially for the Golden Rose. In 2 weeks' time. But I think if he's going to win the Golden Rose, he's got to win really, or be very, very competitive Saturday, and I think he will be. He's drawn a good gate in 8. I think he'll probably settle better than midfield. He's won 3 or 4 starts. He's won a Group 2 sires, and I think he'd be winning at the 480. I'd be getting in now, because I would dare say he'd probably start 350.
Yeah. He's $6 for the Caulfield Guineas at the moment. I think he's a good chance in that as well.
Yeah.
On the bid, I'm very confident here. Caulfield race 1, number 1, Spirit of Heaven. This filly was an absolute moral beating last start. She's a half to Lights of Heaven. She just doesn't lose tomorrow. She's get off your day to a winning start. She didn't see daylight anywhere up the straight. Went to the line without being let down. She's the bet of the day. Just wins. She's about $2.10. If you get better than $2, just put plenty on, load up, doubles and everything. She wins, and I think she's a chance in the 1,000 guineas. I'm Zoostar in the Caulfield Guineas, into her the 1,000 guineas. I think she's better than her half Lights of Heaven, so I think she's special. Off the bet, Lenny, who are you laying today? We've got to get off to a good start for the year, mate, so who are you laying?
A horse that won by 6 lengths last night,
that's a good one.
Race 7, number 6 at Caulfield, Pakel. There'll be a lot of people spruiking this horse, and rightly so. He won really well last start, his first run this preparation, but he beat a field of midweekers. He comes back to Caulfield on a Saturday. Now, he's pretty much carrying the same weight, because he got him the claim of 57. He's carrying 57 on Saturday, and it's a different class of horse. The thing that worries me is obviously the step up in class, but he's also drawn the car park. He's drawn 15 over the 1700. Where's he going to get to in the run? Well, I don't think he's really going to push forward.
Yeah.
He's probably, with the cleaner going forward, I think he's going to probably sit midfield. And running up the hill at Caulfield, he's going to have a lot harder run than Nate Horsfield he had last time. So, yeah, the $3 quote, I'd leave me out.
Yep. I'm off the bit with Caulfield race 6, number 3, Samaretti. I know she's actually been working really well. The reports are she's going very well, but she raced the 2-year-old level a couple of years ago. She's been off the scene for a best part of a year, and before that she was off for nearly a year as well. This is the first time she's raced an open class, off a long layoff. I just can't take the short odds about these horses returning off long layoffs, and especially mares and fillies going into open class. So for me, she's off the bit, and she's against my value bet Jolie Bay. So I'd rather take the odds on Jolie Bay. So thanks very much for joining us today. Good luck, Lenny. We're, as you said, out at Caulfield on Saturday, and hoping to have a good day on the punt for the start of the great spring carnival ahead of us. See you next week.
Cheers.
See ya.